It's 3, 2, 1, and I'm here. Thank you, Chef. Okay, it's News Hub, and this is International Women's Day, year 2021. We're celebrating women doing exploits in their chosen fields. That's one of the reasons for the day, and also to seek for gender equality and some other things that women have been challenging each other. And in fact, governments and other concerned authorities towards ensuring a change for the better for them. Joining us in the studios is a very interesting person. You know why I'm saying this when you meet her in just a moment. She actually is an entrepreneur as well as a blogger. I'm talking about Bodex. I hope I got that because I've been trying to pronounce to rehearse. Did I got it right?
Yes.
Umbo. Oh, yes. Okay. So I got so nice to have you on News Hub.
Thank you, madam.
All right, so I'm sure that here's...
Yes, another fascinating story we have. We bring in people who have already challenged the stereotypes out there. And she is a cobbler. The ones you call shoemaker.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So to put it down for people to really understand what she's involved in, she's in an area or field you hardly see women in. Just the sprinkling you find here and there. And she's been in this for a number of years. So tell us this, your amazing story, how you became a cobbler in a perceived man's world, and now you've made a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you so much for having me. And people call me Bodex, the goldfish. I am a lady
Bodex,
cobbler.
the goldfish.
Yes, because I don't have a hidden place. Okay, so I've been a cobbler for over 5 years now, and it was actually depression that led me into it. I did some businesses at some point and they failed. So while I was contemplating, oh, let me just kill myself and all that, I just saw a guy in Ajegunle making shoes. And I was like, okay, I've always been a TV person, and I also have a YouTube channel, Bodex TV, where I do interviews for people. So I was like, okay, I know quite a lot of people, so let me just go into this particular business. So I spoke to the guy, and he was like, madam, you will pay, because then I was driving LR3. So when he saw the car, I was like, you will pay. I said, how much? He said 30,000. I said 30,000, and I'll be alive, don't worry. So that was how I paid, and I started the journey.
All right, the journey so far for you, you said that something led to, I'm not going to ask you about what caused the depression because that's not the essence of this show, but there are a lot of women who are going through that at this moment, and they're being weighed down, and that's hampering their ability to fulfill their dreams, to attain their potentials. Aside taking up the learning the cobbler job at that point in time, what other things did you feel that you could have done aside doing the cobbler job, which a lot of women are asking questions this morning as to what they can do and where they can go?
Oh, okay. I don't think there would have been something else that would have done better aside this one, because before I go into business, I need to know my environment first, what they want, and what I should put out. So, and I know even a mad person wears shoes. So I was like, okay, let me just do this because it's a very fast one. So if you've been in my shoes or you're in my shoe now, I think you should just try and ask yourself what is selling where you are. Then you should go into
understanding your environment.
Yes.
And then you got into this field as a cobbler. But by the way, they used to be, I guess they're packed up now, so I don't think there's any harm in mentioning them. Actually, I thought when they said cobbler, I always thought cobbler was actually for the females until I realized cobbler and shoemaker, they can be called lady cobbler. Remember lady cobbler?
Yeah,
lady cobbler.
Yes.
So I always assumed lady cobbler, but I eventually got that was just the name. It didn't have anything to do with the profession. But you were in a field dominated by men.
Yes.
And I'm thinking how that affected you in going forward. Did it frighten you?
No. And the reason is because maybe while I was growing up, I've always loved to challenge myself. I was always found in where we have men doing stuff and all that. Do you understand? And I don't know, I have this gut, like there's nothing I can do. Do you understand? Whatever you're doing here, I can as well do it. True. So why should I be threatened? Because a man is actually doing it. Do you understand? When I know that I have people that can actually patronize me, or I even have the mouth to be able to do the PR, myself. Yeah. Like, let me give you an example. There was a time I was going through the Minister for Interior's picture on the internet, and I have this gift from looking at your pictures. I'll be able to tell what size you wear. And I was
Wow.
like, okay, this man should be wearing 44. Then he was Ocean State governor.
Yes.
So I did I think 8 pairs of shoes.
This didn't come with your apprenticeship. This was just something that happened
Yes,
innate. It was
yes.
in
So
you.
you have to be proactive too.
This was in
whatever
you.
you're
This was a
doing.
gift that was in you already.
I'm telling you. Do you get?
I was going to ask because I wanted to know whether I could go with the apprenticeship, whether they could teach me that one.
No.
Go ahead.
So I just DHL the stuffs, and he was like, "Who made them? Help me look for her."
Wow.
And that was how I met him, and he was like, "You made all the shoes, and they actually look like Italian shoes and all that." Do you understand?
And what's
from
his
there-
size, his feet?
Yes, and to date, he patronizes Bodex footwear.
So
Wow.
you can tell my shoe size from the way I am at this moment. Can you tell what my shoe
Yes,
size is?
I think you should be wearing 43.
My goodness, she got it.
Okay.
I'm not saying my own.
Okay, she got it. This one
44,
is extra.
45. Right?
It's extra
Right?
length.
Extra
45, she's correct.
That's amazing. Did you learn that, or it's just something that you?
Over the time, I was able to, brush myself more. Then I travel a lot. I go to Turkey, I go to this, where they're making shoes. So we actually have this catalog where you are able to know sizes and all that. But you have to keep reading too and keep researching, because people's legs actually varies and all that.
So, there's something that got me thinking. All the while she's been speaking, obviously you just followed your passion, because we hear you talking, and obviously even if you weren't being paid for this is what you would naturally would have done. But you did find yourself here eventually. And why I ask this is because many ladies don't follow their passion. The lady who was here before was Nena Ofia. Her father's an engineer, so she'd always been doing stuff with him. So that was her passion. You found your passion by accident eventually. But,
Yes.
it didn't happen in the beginning. You had to go through several things in life.
Yes, I
But
did.
you meet a lot of women nowadays, and many of them don't have the sort of opportunities that you've been able to get yourself into. How do you advise them?
Oh, okay. I also have an NGO that is, it's called Berry Africa. So what I do is
Sorry,
I
say
go
that again.
Berry Africa,
Berry Africa.
Bodex Exceptional Women Initiative.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is I go into the streets, I talk to girls that see, aside you doing this, you can actually do this, and I'm going to train you for free. You don't have to pay me for it. Then I will also tell you how much your capital for making a pair of shoe, and the gain that also comes with it. So I have a factory in Sule, so I'll just take them there and I teach every one of them. Then when I go to all these restaurants and all that, I approach some of the waiters and I'll be like, what if they sack you tomorrow?
What would you do?
And they'll be like, okay, I'll just drop my card, call me. I have a list that has a mechanic, cobbler, painting, but it has to be male dominated field. You have to choose one. Let them know that whether you're a man or woman, we can actually do the same thing. There shouldn't be difference. The difference should just be the outlook. You're seeing me, I'm dressed like this, then you know I am a woman.
All right. I have so many questions for you, but we want to take this very short break. You're still watching News Hub. When we come back, we have Bodex Humbo in the house. She's an entrepreneur and as well as a blogger. So many questions. It's still International Women's Day.
My name is Bridget, and I choose to challenge gender stereotypes.
Hi, I'm Tolu, and I choose to challenge violence against women.
Hello, my name is Sheil Oyedeji. I want to challenge women, in fact, more women, to go into politics.
My name is Blessing Nwosu. I choose to challenge gender inequality.
My name is Queenette Nwachukwu. I choose to challenge women battering, violence against women.
My name is Mercy Frank, and I choose to challenge the inadequate support for the girl child with a big dream.
Hello, I am Mutupoluwa Shoremefu. I choose to challenge inequality and question stereotypes in Nigerian industry.
As the world celebrates the International Women's Day, the Silverbird Group supports all women as they choose to challenge the norm.
We're still with Bodex Homeboy in the studios talking about the International Women's Day, celebrating women doing exploits in the chosen fields, and at this point in time, celebrating a woman excelling in a male-dominated space. She's a female cobbler and an entrepreneur. She does a lot of other things, and I'm sure she'll tell us more. So I said I had a lot of questions for you. You make it seem to a lot of people watching as if it was all easy. What were those challenges that almost got you off track while you're trying to get to where you are today?
Okay. First is finance. But what I did, when I started the shoe journey, I started doing branded shoes that has my name, Bodex Media. And then I used to do behind the scenes for a lot of the artists. So they would call me, oh, Bodex, are you coming? I'd be like, okay, I'll come. So I'll just wear the branded shoes. So while we're on set, some of them will see, they'll be like, Bodex, you're the one wearing your name, do for me. I'll be like, no, I'm not doing. And then I wasn't thinking about the monetary part of it. I was just enjoying the fact that I was wearing my own brand.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Did you make this yourself?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I did.
Okay, all right. Okay.
You know, so then I went to the house and I just thought about it. I said, okay, this one everybody is asking me, Bodex, make for me. Maybe I should do it. So I went to shoot one day and some of the actresses were like, Bodex, make for me. And I was like, it's 5,000 naira for one. And one said, okay, make 4. I said, it's paid before service. You know, it's branded. And she actually gave me the money, 20,000 naira.
Wow.
Do you understand? And I made a lot of money from that 20,000. So when I got home, I was like, hey, I bought the sew for this, I did the insole, I bought the leather, I bought the velvet, I bought, hey, let's turn this thing to business. So that is how money started coming in. So I used our money to actually start.
Oh,
yes,
20,000
naira.
And I'm sure you're worth like billions now.
Yes.
What about materials? Because most of the times if you make shoes, why I love to patronize made in Nigeria goods. I always preach it here that I don't mind if there's anyone that's going to dress me up and is going to be fully made in Nigeria materials, I'm going to wear them. What stops me from doing that? But one thing that most people complain about is the quality.
Yes.
How have you been able to do that?
Well, you know, if you're not really into shoemaking, you might not be able to know the quality of leather to choose or not, because they all actually look the same. But I actually shop in Mushin. This same Mushin, yes. You will see, once you have the money, you know, one thing about Nigerians is they will see the original, they still the fake, and they still want to go for fake. But when you know what you want to put out, you just say yourself, let me do the original, and just add money. Do you understand? So that people can respect your brand. Yeah. So what I do is I just go straight to the original store and check. There's a way we know leather, the ones that are fake and the ones that are real. Okay. Yes, you just check the texture and all that. So that's where I shop from. Then when I travel, once in a while, I also buy from there and bring. But majorly, 98% of my leathers that I use for Bodex footwear are mainly from Mushi Market.
I'm enjoying your Nigerian story. I love it. I do.
In case you're just joining, this is Bodex Homeboy, who is a cobbler, lady cobbler. That's what exactly she is, and she's doing fantastically well. Turnover, according to Sharon,
billions, yeah.
Right now.
She has claimed
she's
it.
Massive, and in the way, I mean, if you've got a minister or former governor as a client, you can imagine what it means in terms of.
Not just him. I have governors too. I have senators. Yeah, let me brag. Yeah.
She's rolling in the right circles in terms of where she can get plenty of visibility. Help us also understand something too. I was also thinking in terms of when you look at the space, you know, you say, I was going to ask whether you believe in or you support affirmative action, but it just occurred to me you're doing some sort of affirmative action already in the way you get people, like some sort of recruitment, and tell them you're only going to help train and work with people who are interested in being in a male-dominated industry. And how you've seen that happen over the years in your picture. So when you look at the big picture, you having more women who have come through, you are working now in male-dominated spaces, and you can say, for a shorty, this is what you think is going to happen in the next 5-10 years, and is this the right way to go?
Oh, yes, I think it is the right way. It is just the right way. Like I said, I'll give you the list of the things I have on my own table that I have access to, and I'll let you choose, and I sponsor. It's actually not giving back to the society the way they put it, because before you give back to society, it means they've given you something. Nobody has given me anything. I'm selling shoes to you, Jamestown, out of the money, then I bring in people to train them, and they go out to, you know, to make more money. So I think it's just a way of letting them know that you should actually choose to challenge yourself. Jamestown, it has, so I think, yes, basically that's what I say.
All right, so many other things are happening. The COVID-19 took the world by storm this year, in 2020, and this year, thankfully, we have the vaccine in the country, and we were praying and hoping that very soon business will come fully, you know, into the way full circle that used to be in the past. What was the impact? What has been the impact of COVID-19 on your business and businesses of perhaps other women that you know?
Oh, it has really, really affected my shoe line because we no longer have parties. People no longer go out the way we used to go and all that. But trust me, people are still buying, because even when you step out, excuse me, you still want to look good. So what actually resulted to when the COVID started was online adverts instead of the normal walk-in store and all that. And we're able to, we made some sales, but not as much as it used to be. So it was really affected, but not too affected, because we're actually into the business that are selling.
Well, what about discrimination? People get discriminated. I dare to imagine that the people who will come in, if they probably had a deal and they suddenly realized that it was a woman behind this entire thing. Do you face that sort of thing in the line of business?
Yeah, I do, but I really don't care. I think the way you carry yourself also matters when you're trying to sell things out. So, and when I come out to tell you that, oh, sorry, sir, I have this, and they'll be like, from the way I'll talk from the beginning to the end, you even want to buy more. Maybe you came to buy just 4. After the presentation and everything, you just want to buy like 7, like 8. So whether you're discriminating, you're supposed to be, I don't care.
The point I'm making is that, yeah, because it's your mental state that you've walked on to a point where you don't give a damn. They don't even deserve that sort of respect at the end of the day. But in terms of the bigger picture, there are people who are coming in, and so that we can have an idea of how widespread it is, you know. The problem isn't with you, the problem is with them. So it'd be good to even know that people are coming into the service and already have a biased mind because a woman is behind this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once you walk in, you are even going to change your mindset about what you are carrying before you come in. Because I'm going to relate with you that you are actually talking to your own fellow man. Do you understand? Because it's my hard work that matters. Do you get? So I think that's it. It shouldn't be a problem. I don't think that should be a problem.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. We're still watching News Hub today, a very special International Women's Day broadcast of the show. Bodex Unba still with us in the studios. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll cross over to the United States, where a very distinguished lady is there to talk about today's significance of today and some other lessons we have to learn across the world in a moment.
My name is Bridget, and I choose to challenge gender stereotypes.
Hi, I'm Tolu, and I choose to challenge violence against women.
Hello, my name is Oyedeji. I want to challenge women, in fact, more women, to go into politics.
My name is Blessing Onsu. I choose to challenge gender inequality.
My name is Queenette Nwachukwu. I choose to challenge women battering, violence against women.
My name is Mercy Frank, and I choose to challenge the inadequate support for the girl child with a big train.
Hello, I am Motupoluwa Shoremefu. I choose to challenge inequality and question stereotypes in Nigerian industry.
As the world celebrates the International Women's Day, the Silverbird Group supports all women as they choose to challenge the norm.
Welcome back, and it's a rolling conversation we've been having around the International Women's Day, looking at women in fields that have been dominated by men for several years and have dared to challenge the stereotype and make a huge difference. Engineers, cobblers, and all of that. It's a fantastic story we've seen, but still a long way to go, but at least we're beginning to chip at the block, to coin the saying. Princess Halliday is a professor of leadership in the United States, and she joins us on this fine International Women's Day. Thank you very much, Princess Halliday.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so it's an International Women's Day in different climes in the United States and in Nigeria, but different experiences, I can imagine. But tell us what the International Women's Day means to you in the United States.
I am very ecstatic. This BST, International Women's Day, celebrates tremendous women growth. Across the world, more equal future and recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. And I love that International Women's Day calls for women's right to decision making in all areas of life, equal pay, equal sharing of unpaid and paid domestic work, and all forms of violence against women and girls, and also providing the health services that responds to our needs. International Women's Day is a time to reflect on the progress that's been made.
I could hardly actually, I could hardly get what you had to say, but we'll try to reconnect with you in just a moment so that we can hear you proper. However, I really love your smile. Let's come back to the studio's Bodex. When we talk about the way International Women's Day is celebrated, on a lighter note, men will be like, you people don't even celebrate us. It's only you women that they celebrate. And all. Do you think it's worth celebrating? Is today actually worth celebrating?
Of course it is. Because we women, we actually do more than men. But because we have been able to set our mindset to this narrative of, okay, it's men's word. Do you understand? I think that is why, I don't know how I'm supposed to put it.
Isn't it challenging? Because if you say you want to challenge the status quo, they'll be like, she's not being ladylike, she's high-handed, or she's... What a man would do and to be considered to be normal, when a woman tries to do it, it seems to be like, what an affront, and all of that. Do you see the way the society has stereotyped women affecting the level of productivity? And if you do, in what ways, if you have an example you want to share with us?
Yeah, it is actually affecting us, but like I said, if you want something, I think you should go for it. You don't really need to wait for the society to come, impose something on you. You should also go ahead and bring it out. Like I walked in here last week, and I just tendered my profile and I talked to Gachas and I was like, I do this, I do that. And all the evidences were on table and I was like, I would like to be on Silver Bell television. And it was like, okay, Bodex, the gods. I said, what? I said, I want to be here. And here we are.
Yes.
You understand? So if we women are able to do more of going out, and speaking up, I don't think anybody wants to just put us by the side. Okay, you people should stay here. No, I'll follow you to where you're going. Let's go together.
We have this dream.
Yes,
let's do it.
Let's do it together.
Right. Very feisty. You see, the entire idea and the goal of being deliberate many times is for us to, for women also to be part of the discussion, which is inclusivity.
Yes.
Which is with the economy, with the politics, which I'm coming to now, and with the socio-cultural, which we have a long way to go because of many of these norms are embedded in the system. And it will take a lot to have many of this move, but we're trying to move the boulder. The closest I can imagine group of women coming together to try to do something socially and cause some sort of social change has been with the NSAS protest that happened. Okay. There were several women involved in the process of the chain, whether in the funding or being out there, especially the Lekki Toll Plaza. It gave us an idea of what women can do when they come together. Young women,
yes.
I know we're very involved at what happened at the protest grounds. What do you think in terms of the politics? You think maybe one day you will breach that ceiling? you've done this, you've entered this world, and you're looking for. I was hoping that I was seeing in her card. She said areas are dominated by men. I thought I would see politics there. When I didn't hear politics, I said I'm going to ask you why that isn't in your card also too.
Oh, okay. Funny enough, I made a few calls like 3 weeks ago. I was calling some of the top politicians. Hello, please, me, I would like to go into politics because I'm from Badagry. Do you understand? And in my head and in my mind, I'm always like, I'm doing well now. At least I can represent to my people. Even without politics, I've been able to do 1 or 2 things
and
in
that
Badagry.
area is in dire need of help.
You understand? Then I also have a program that is coming up. It is called the Badagry Agenda 2021. You know, where I'm going to be giving our stores for almost 21 secondary schools that we have in Badagry and all that. So I called them. I said, please come and mentor me. Let me at least.
Oh, so you want to learn?
I would love to go into it.
Oh, I think that brings us to the next question. Maybe most of the times, aside the fact many women go into businesses, it's been, this is just an assumption, that it's tough for women to keep and make successful businesses. Do you agree based on that? Because you just talked about something very important at this point in time.
No, I think that's the question.
People say that it's always tough for women, challenging for women to be successful at doing things because of our emotions, sometimes other things, for lack of personal development. For instance, let's say I'm a school certificate holder, and then I get married, and then I don't find it, needful to go back to school. I don't want to do and all of that. Women at this point in time, how do we start to encourage them to go out there? It's never too late for them to start their dreams. They can kick start it from. In what ways can we do that?
Okay, like when I read about today's theme, it says choose to challenge. I asked a question. I said, I think you should challenge me, then I will challenge you. Then at our own corner, we'll be able to start getting an alert of what we're supposed to do that we end up bringing change. Once you know where you're going, you don't even need anybody to start telling you, please stand up, please do this one. Oh, I have only 1 degree. I'm actually doing my master's in mass comm to Unilag. Then I did a presentation on journalism in National Broadcast Academy. So you just have to keep going. But if you know you don't have tomorrow, that's when you can start having this problem you've just talked about. I want to be everywhere. I want to be celebrated, And while I was still thinking about the theme, I told myself, I think they should add women celebrating one another. Because we are actually the ones also killing ourselves. If I have issues with this auntie, and maybe you are her brother, if you're asking me out tomorrow, because of the issues we had, she won't let me date you in peace. So how are we going to go into politics? Or how are you going to be better tomorrow? Because you already have a mentality that is already killing the happiness of another person. So you shouldn't even, once you know where you're going, let me just put it that way. You don't need anybody to tell you, do this. I was driving today when I was coming. The traffic at CMS was mad. I parked the car at the road and I called the driver, please, I'm giving you so person's number, go pick it up. And I took a bike to this place because I just have to be here.
All right. We have to take a very short break, Bodex. When we come back, there is the question I asked you, and I'd like for even everyone watching us to please respond to it. How do we get women who seem to have lost hope back on track? It's a very big question. We'll take that question, answers from you, and we'll return after this break.
My name is Bridget, and I choose to challenge gender stereotypes.
Hi, I'm Tolu, and I choose to challenge violence against women.
Hello, my name is Oyedeji. I want to challenge women, in fact, more women, to go into politics.
My name is Blessing Nwosu. I choose to challenge gender inequality.
My name is Queenette Nwachukwu. I choose to challenge women battering, violence against women.
My name is Mercy Frank, and I choose to challenge the inadequate support for the girl child with a big dream.
Hello, I am Motopoluwa Shoremefu. I choose to challenge inequality and question stereotypes in Nigerian industry.
As the world celebrates the International Women's Day, the Silverbird Group supports all women as they choose to challenge the norm.
Thanks for saying what does on News Hub. We're still celebrating women on International Women's Day on the show, and we see our Bodex in the studios. We were connected to Princess Holiday in the United States a while ago. We're trying to reconnect the network with her so she can share with us her International Day for Women's story. Before the break, I did say I put a question across to you on how we could get women who at this point have lost hope, who possibly are depressed, who have given up on life. How can we kickstart those dreams that they had to come back to life?
Okay, International Women's Day has 3 colors. We have the green, which is for hope. We have white for purity, and that is what I'm putting on my white. Then we have the purple that has to do with justice, and justice. So for such women, I think what we need to do is for us to give them hope and show them true love. And we also need to keep communicating, to them. Let them know that they are actually not the only ones in their shoes. We have been there before too, and this is how we actually escaped it. So if we are able to, go into their minds, when they believe your own stories, then they'll be able to make a U-turn. Because we women, we go through a lot when it comes to emotions, especially when you're true to someone and they actually, being unfaithful or, not being sincere to you. It gets to us so much. So for somebody like that to come out of it, I should be able to show love. Do you understand what I'm saying? You should be able to say, okay, Bodex, everything will be fine. Then after that, we need to find out what they want to do. What do you love to do? Or what do you love doing? If you can set them up, please do it. I do that too for some elderly people. I can just be going on the road, then I'll see that they only have one biscuit, this one. I'll be like, Mommy, what happened? And see, no money, no money. How much? It's like this. I won't give you the money. I'll rather go to the market. I'll buy all those things, then I'll stock the place up. Because some of them, once you give them the money too, they still go back to square one. So it's just better for you to get them.
That's a big challenge.
Yeah, so it is better for you to get the exact thing that those people actually need and just present it to them. Let them be selling. Like the girls I told you I mentored and I also trained, time to time I go to their stores and I'll be like, this month, list total number of shoes that you have made, how much did you sell them for, how much was your capital, how much did you gain, so I am able to keep putting them on track. And I also told them, if you lose this opportunity, I'm not coming back for you. I'd rather pick someone else that has a future and know that this little amount that I've gotten to establish myself, I should be able to use it well. So if we are able to go into their minds and talk them out of depression or whatever they are going through by asking them, what do you want to do? What are you good at? And we are able to set them up positively and also keep checking them up and then maintaining whatever business we might have told them to run. Trust me, everybody will be fine.
Everyone will be indeed fine. I mean, no pun intended. She makes shoes for all sort of problems. Huh? So, you're also on social media, which is also very interesting tool over the years in how it's able to effect change. It's got its own controversial point to the point where, I mean, they go to Facebook try and war with the nation. They told them, you can want to try change the world, but we run the country, is what the politicians told Mark Zuckerberg. But I can't exactly say social media is a just place between men and women. The women dominate social media in ways that the men will never catch up in the next, let's say, 50, 100 years. But if you look at social media and what it's been able to do, you think there are certain things we can find there which can help us in the battle and the journey towards equity?
Okay, I'm also a social media influencer, but I can tell you that I don't post as much as I should do because I don't like to be addicted to things. I'm a general person, do you understand? And because of that, I don't follow blogs that will change the mindset that I already have, and I don't follow influencers that they talk in this direction and this is my belief. I will not bother to follow you. Then I also do not have people, I don't follow people that make me to want to run faster than my shadow. Once I'm following you and I just notice that, I'll be like, okay, it's me you want to kill. I will just unfollow. So if you're conscious of all these things, I think you also be all right by, I'm trying to, I don't know how I'm going to explain it so that you can understand it well. For the iniquity that you talked about, right?
All right, let's even talk. Let me take you off that one a little bit, and let's talk about how women can join in nation building. You're doing your cobbling, and you're adding value to the people. Many people just see you and they'll be like, I want to be like Bodex. They don't know what it means to be like them. How do we get women to really discover who they are? Because if you don't know who you are, it's very difficult for you to know your purpose. And if you don't know that, how do you then fulfill all the potentials that might be inherent there? So what are those things, the things that, for instance, government could do, family could do, the society can do to help people, especially women, in perhaps, discovering themselves if they get to, because some people haven't yet.
Yeah. Okay. I think the people that you also relate with, they have a lot to do in our lives. And like I said earlier, the community. Because of my media strength, I started doing this Bodex social media hangout, where I bring different media houses, stakeholders and fans for us to talk about the things that are going on. And also, it's also a platform where I try to give back to our fans who are actually our traffic, and that is where we make the money from. So if you are able to sit down on yourself and list the things you are very good at, trust me, by the time you start picking one or two, the result will also be positive when it comes to the nation. Like this hangout I talked about, I bring in senators, I'll just send a letter. Please, we're doing this, we're doing that. The theme is social media tool for nations building. I'll just come up with the topic and everybody comes. You can come tell us how you've been doing your political career. You can come give us the evaluation of you being the governor for like 2 years. Please, what have you done and all that. So it's a platform where all those people actually come together to also talk. Then the fans will be able to say, okay, we don't like this particular post you post, please do it this way. So you'll be able to learn. So if you're able to list all those things about yourself, you'll be able to choose the ones that will actually better the nation.
We sit down here in Lagos, urban setting, the island, cozy environment, and we have big discussions like this. But many times, like I found out across the different areas, whether it's in the politics or it's in the education, it all matters at the grassroots. They say all politics is local because everything happens right there at the bottom. That's where all the decisions eventually happen and how things would eventually show up, in the long run. What do you say in terms of where we've made the biggest movements in? We've tried with the economy, politics, neither here nor there, social, cultural, massive discussions. Many women continue to go through things in a social, cultural space that you cannot imagine many years from, from now. We're still talking about those things. Inheritance rights, the certain cultural norms that you have in certain places. Show where you're from. When we compare and contrast, you see that many women are still going through very difficult times, How do you think we can begin to move some of those things which for you are simply abhorrent to imagine that they still exist?
Politics in Nigeria is actually not interesting, especially for the women. I think they've been able to place politics in a way that it's actually better for the men. Do you understand? Because I told you I made some few calls and I was like, okay, boss, I would like to go into politics. The things they told me were not even interesting at all. Yes. So for what you asked, I think we should just keep trying. We shouldn't give up. We should keep talking about it. The ones that are there already, if we have access to them, because once, like now that you're here, once you become a senator tomorrow, to get access to you is always a problem.
You will just wound up and then be using all these, what's it called, all the tinted glasses. And
I tell you, so if you have women in power that can actually also release their access to those grassroots that are actually interested in it, I think we'll also make a way out.
All right, thank you, Bodex. Now let's go back to the United States. We're traveling there right now as we're joined by Princess Holiday. We were in touch with her a while ago. So nice to reconnect with you back, Princess. All right. In case you've just joined us, Princess is a TV personality, professor ethics, leadership ambassador, talk show host, trained petroleum engineer. There's a reason I'm reading out all of these things that she's accomplished and that she's doing. She's a communication expert, motivational speaker, occasional actress, founder, Empower Africa Initiative. Once again, Princess, so nice to have you back on the program. So some questions we put across to you. The first one that I asked was how International Day for Women is celebrated in America. I'd like for you to start with that. Then we'll follow up questions with you.
Thank you very much. I hope.
Princess, if you can hear me, I think the connection is freezing again.
I hear you very clearly. Can you?
What's the celebration like? We know that COVID-19 is actually part of the theme for this year, and we hear also that the mask mandate has been lifted in about 15 states. It's affecting so many things. I wonder what effect that could have on the yearly celebration of International Day for Women in America.
Well, this year's theme for the International tremendous effort by women around the world in shaping a more equal future and recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. I particularly love that the International Women's Day calls for women's rights. Taking off all forms of violence against women and girls, and also to provide the healthcare services that respond to our need. The International Women's Day is a day to really reflect on the progress that's been made so far.
Absolutely. We've been having difficulties, but looks like we've been able to get some consistency in the talk with you. But interestingly, I'm looking at some of your profile. You come from the Niger Delta, and this is an area which is going through a lot of problems in terms of pollution, inequitable distribution of wealth, and all of that. You're in the United States, and I'm sure you see pictures of women back in the Niger Delta having to go through a difficult time just to eke a living and all of that. How does that resonate with you in terms of getting them to be more involved in what is happening with them?
Well, first, I refer to myself as an African, a Nigerian. I seldom indicate specifics to where I'm from in Nigeria because I love to have people understand that I belong to everyone. I do not really appreciate much segregation. But for decades, to think of a leader has mostly meant to think male in Nigeria. Questions about why powerful men are still perceived as fun leaders and powerful women as anomalies are still being researched. Leadership positions for women in society has always been evaluated as inferior to men. So I see what's going on all over the world in Africa and Nigeria, and I believe that a whole lot of improvement can be done.
We have to really focus on the fight against COVID-19, and especially in the United States. Report says that women are fully in the forefront, and in fact, they get 11% lower in wages compared to what their male counterparts get, which of course equals to inequality. How much has the country been able to really bridge the divide on the type of payments, pays that women receive vis-a-vis their counterparts, the male counterparts in the country?
Well, I think that when it comes to gender inequality, it is a phenomenon that's been worked on a daily basis. And when it comes to providing resources pertaining to the COVID-19, I would say that the United States has done quite a lot as compared to, for instance, Nigeria. I had people from Nigeria writing to me, women and men in Nigeria writing to me, letting me know that we do not have available resources for this COVID-19, or, for instance, the stimulus that people in America get. Nigerians are not afforded that opportunity. Yesterday, I had somebody who had written to me stating that he was on the verge of committing suicide in Nigeria because he does not have anyone to look up to turn to. And I asked one question: does Nigeria have any resource for crisis stabilization? And he said he's looked everywhere, but he cannot find. Now, here in the United States, for every person who's affected by the pandemic, there is a resource for what we call crisis stabilization, where you are giving at least an amount of time to stay in a hotel and then assigned to a mental health counselor who takes you through psychodynamic therapy, motivational interviewing, cognitive behavioral therapy, just to ensure that you get back to your normal life. So I think that the United States is improving. It's, as a matter of fact, doing well when it comes to how the response are being put in place for the COVID-19. And I believe that Nigeria can do a lot better, especially for our people.
Right, so we have come to the end. I mean, we hope we can get you again, and so we can you can expatiate some more on many of the things you've worked over the years. But if you had the opportunity just a minute to speak with women in Nigeria, and you had a message for them, what will it be?
Courageous women inspire a better world. You have to be courageous. You have to be able to raise your hands up and decide that you want to learn how to lead. You want to be a leader. You have to be able to sit down with the men and make that decision. It's time to speak truth to power. It's no more time for being silent when it comes to women and leadership positions.
All right, Princess, what do you choose to challenge women to do, or government or anyone else? Can you just raise up your hand and do your challenge? I choose challenge.
I do, but I choose challenge. I want to also state that the state women's political participation in Nigeria remains abysmally low, with less than 6% women in the parliament. So I think that women in Nigeria, every woman in Nigeria, deserves a chance to lead.
Thank you so much, Princess Halliday, professor there, speaking with us on the International Women's Day. We wish you a beautiful day and have a very fabulous one. Thank you so much. Bodex in the house, what do you choose to challenge this morning?
Okay, I choose to challenge everybody to have a selling handwork. Thank you.
That's a great one for women to do. Thank you so much for being part. Bodex Mubo is an entrepreneur as well as a blogger, and she's been with us on the program today. You make some shoes for me. We'll talk about that in a short while.
That's right.
All right, so a big thank you to all of our people today. From Abuja, we had Lola Olajimiji, we had Monica Ogwa from Rivers State, we had Ifeanyi Egbude, we had you, and we thank you so much for being part of the program. I am Shiu Oyedeji. Tomorrow we'll be back 7 o'clock in the morning.
I'm Obo. I choose to say hasta luego.
My name is Bridget, and I choose to challenge gender stereotypes.
Hi, I'm Tolu, and I choose to challenge violence against women.
Hello, my name is Shiu Oyedeji. I want to challenge women, in fact, more women, to go into politics.
My name is Blessing Osu. I choose to challenge gender inequality.
My name is Queenette Nwachukwu. I choose to challenge women battering, violence against women.
My name is Mercy Frank, and I choose to challenge the inadequate support for the girl child with a big dream.
Hello, I am Motupolu Shoremefu. I choose to challenge inequality and question stereotypes in Nigerian industry.
As the world celebrates the International Women's Day, the Silverbird Group supports all women as they choose to challenge the norm.